you've been high on the Browns in the past. Do you think the Browns will make the playoffs this year?
I don't. I think it's a close call, but I put it under 50-50. And I think the odds makers open them at like 45% chance, probability. I think that's about right. Well, already.
Is that you? I'm sorry, did Max just say that? Dan Orlowski, Laura?
Yeah.
Was that Max Kellerman? I just want to make sure my ears. Is that the same Max Kellerman that picked them to be Super Bowl contenders last year? Is that the same dude? Is that you? Is that you? Because I can't see clearly. It's a lot of light. Is that Max on the air right now that just said that?
That's me. That's me. Same guy.
Oh,
New year. Here's the difference, Stephen A. Here's the difference. What was seen in their division last year is that the Pittsburgh Steelers under Mike Tomlin are incapable of being under 500. They can't do it. I mean, they tried last year. They couldn't do it. That is a great Hall of Fame coach in Tomlin who makes his team competitive come hell or high water. And now they get their quarterback back. They were their fourth-string quarterback winning 8 games last year. What are they going to do with Roethlisberger this year? I got to think they're going to be over 500, as they normally are. And you're in the same division with the Baltimore Ravens, a team with a unique talent in Lamar Jackson and a team built around Lamar Jackson. Dan Orlowski did the best job I've seen of anyone breaking down their offense with their 3 tight end sets. I learned a lot. But that is a special situation going on in Baltimore. That's in your own division. So I think that even though I expect Baker Mayfield to bounce back, I mean, how could it get worse than last year? I expect a healthy Odell Beckham Jr. to make a big difference. They are loaded on offense. They even got young talent at the tackles, like on the offensive line. But then again, offensive line's really a skills position. It's not like guys hit the ground running like running back. There's nuance to that. And then for a line to come together takes sometimes a year or two, at least partial, a part of a season. So I expect the Browns to be improved. I expect that they will be a playoff powerhouse before too long, but I don't expect that to happen already this year because of the competition in the division.
Well, I'm not going to expect them to make the playoffs. I'm not going to go that far, but I think that overall their season, even if it's a roller coaster, will be significantly better, more structured than it was last season. It was haphazard. There were moments where their talent shined, but clearly they were in over their heads in terms of their coach, their quarterback, their dysfunctionality or lack of functionality or whatever. They just seemed to be discombobulated all season long. I don't expect that with Kevin Stefanski as their new head coach. He was the architect of the 8th-ranked offense in the National Football League with Kirk Cousins as his coach. I expect him to be an upgrade from Freddie Kitchens. Remember, Kareem Hunt you've got for the whole season now, down at just the final 8 games. Him and Nick Chubb, your backfield is stout. It's ready to go. Jarvis Landry can ball. Acquiring Austin Hooper from Atlanta, I think, is going to be a significant plus for them. And I expect Odell Beckham Jr., obviously healthy, to be that kind of threat. Primarily used as a decoy in most situations. He'll still find a way to be productive and get things done. I have no doubt about that. But his health, being on the football field, being the mercurial threat that he is, I think that will go a long way towards opening the offense with them. That combined with the rest of the talent that they have around them, along with the structure they have in place, I definitely believe they'll probably be better than they were. Whether the record indicates that or not, I'm not so sure. But I do believe there will be more structure, more organizational skills, more players being together, united on the offensive side of the ball. I think as a result, they'll be more formidable, and I'm not going to rule out the possibility of them making to the playoffs. I'm just not going to sell out my Pittsburgh Steelers with Big Ben Roethlisberger coming back healthy. I think that the Steelers obviously can't be ignored, but I'm emotional there. We all know that because I love my Steelers. So I'll refrain from making any proclamation about the Browns at this particular moment in time, but I'm not going to sit up there and squash them like a bug like I did last year. Last year, guys, I knew they were going to stink up the joint. I knew that things were going to fall apart. I'm not so sure about that now.
All right, I'm going to say that the Browns are going to make the playoffs. I think 3 teams from the AFC North are going to go to the playoffs. We know the Ravens are in. We know the Steelers are in. We got to remember that there's going to be a 7th playoff team this year. And I would say the 7th team is going to come from the group of, the Patriots, the Browns, the Colts, and the Texans maybe. Like that grouping, someone of that 7th team is going to hop in there. Here's a couple of reasons why, kind of putting it to the football sense of why I think they'll get in. Last year was a disaster. They were 6-7 with 3 games to play. In the midst of an absolute disaster, they're 6-7. They lost their final 3 games. 2 of those 3 games are against non-playoff teams. I think the Cardinals and the Bengals, and they got like 35 burgers hung on them when their defense was all beat up. And so even in the midst of a disaster last year, they're still kind of in the playoff conversation with just about a month to go. The offense that Kevin Stefanski is bringing over, I need everyone to understand how much of a connected game football is, that how much a good offense impacts a good defense and a good defense impacts a good offense. The 5 teams that majored in this type of scheme last year, this West Coast stretch outside run game with the play action, the 5 teams that majored in it were Minnesota, Green Bay, San Francisco, the Rams, and the Titans. Those 5 teams went 54-26. Out of those 5 teams, 4 out of the 5 made the playoffs. The only team that didn't was the 9-7 Rams. Out of those 5 teams, 4 had top 10 defenses. 3 had top 10 offenses. Like, this scheme allows your offense to play at a much more connected group, a much more controlled pace, which is going to help your defense. And so I think that the offensive scheme that they're bringing over is going to help the whole football team. Baker Mayfield has thrown 35 interceptions in his first 2 years. Last year he threw 21. 17 out of those 21 interceptions were in non-play action pass football. Just straight drop back, I take the snap and I want to survey the field. He's going to do very little of that this year. It is going to be all play action football. And so you're going to see the quarterback, Baker Mayfield's performance go up a ton with his ability.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.